and they have the same three types of atoms: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They have a lot less oxygen and actually a lot less hydrogen as well. Lipids are mostly carbon, and therefore they don't tend to like to be in water. Another name for lipids is fats. And there are three basic types of lipids we'll be dealing with. The biological uses for lipids are they can be used for storing energy. They can be converted into simple sugars and used to make ATP. But the major use we have for lipids, and the major one we'll focus on this year, is that they are components of cell membranes. They are a major component of cell membranes. And some of them are used as hormones or other signaling molecules. So in a fat or a lipid, you can have saturated or unsaturated. If each carbon in that fat has 4 different atoms bound to it, they are referred to as saturated. And from a nutritionist standpoint, those tend to be less healthy than unsaturated fats. In an unsaturated fat, some of the carbons only have 2 atoms bound to them, or maybe 3 atoms bound to them, and they tend to be a little healthier for you. Lots of carbons are 2 or 3 atoms bound to them, then they become polyunsaturated. But again, the most important lipid for us is actually the one called a phospholipid. This makes up cell membranes, makes up the vast majority of cell membranes. It has 2 parts: a part that likes water, that's the phosphate group, and a part that doesn't like water, that's the lipid group. And that type of molecule can be used to separate 2 water environments, for instance, the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell. So we have a water-liking hydrophilic polar head and 2 nonpolar hydrophobic tails. Steroids are those signaling molecules. They are built from cholesterol. Cholesterol gets a bad name all the time, but it's really a much needed lipid in the right amounts and in the right locations. So lipids are biopolymer number 2. They are used for energy storage, most importantly cell membranes, and some signaling molecules.